What do you make of the notion that these discounts for today's Black Friday, both in the shops and online, aren't really discounts to the extent that we're being told?
It's not a surprise. I know that most customers who are incredibly savvy, they have the world at their fingertips and can compare prices very quickly these days, know that it's perhaps not the most economical time of year to buy and get that bargain, but it's a good time of year for them to buy when they're particularly up in their spend relevant to Christmas. I think the bigger question obviously has to be, in this retail world post-pandemic, where we've got so many questions upon retailers in terms of their ethical stance, what they're doing to their stakeholders, their supply base, is it actually beyond just a sale tactic now? Do they have to get much more authentic and respectful in their transactions? And that's generally what consumers are saying. When it comes to a sale bargain period, the split tends to be the same no matter what the research. 25% of us are really switched on in bargain hunting, 25% switched off, and about half of us sit in the middle. Looking for the bargain, we might react to it, we might not. So I think there is some pent-up demand relating to this year, and that's why we might see a significant year. We know a lot of the retailers, even those who've gone out and said they're not going to partake, have found their own ways to discount at this time. And I think it's one of those questions they have to ask themselves, which is, can they afford not to be discounting and look to be in that period when the customers are hungry to get best value?
Kate's laid out the sort of psychology of this quite well, hasn't she, Philip? There's a fear of missing out, what my kids call FOMO, an acronym I learnt recently. I'm behind the times. But on the other hand, there are also people thinking, well, if I can get those bargains, maybe I should go along with everyone else and bear the crowds or get online in order to try and strike a bargain. Do you think, Philip, that as the cost of living rises, as inflation goes up, that incentive, that drive among us to go for a bargain could be higher than in previous years?
I think the way that we shop means that desire for a bargain and to look for a bargain is probably fairly stable. As we've just heard, people do have a lot of information at their fingertips. I think that the lens I would overlay on this is that most human behavior is not consciously driven. So it's not that we arrive at this time of year and sit down and make lots of conscious decisions about what we want to do and how we do it. It's that we get drawn into a climate of influence where the media are talking about Black Friday, the people that we've bought from in the past are sending us information about Black Friday or about discounts. And so as a result of that, our attention, which is something that we manage at an unconscious level, is being directed at shopping at a higher level than it normally would. And as a result of that, we find ourselves looking at things, and every so often we'll find ourselves wanting something.